The discovery in the ruined captain, Jake Morrison, had seen enough death in the outer colonies to last 3 lifetimes. The smoking remains of settlement Delta 7 stretched before him like a graveyard of broken dreams. His boots crunched through ash and debris as he searched for survivors among the twisted metal structures. The Craxian raiders had struck without warning, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. The silence was broken by a soft whimper coming from beneath a collapsed shelter. Jake rushed toward the sound, his heart pounding. Using his plasma cutter, he carefully removed chunks of debris until he found them a female alien crouched protectively over a small child. Her violet skin was marked with deep cuts, and her large amber eyes were filled with terror. "Please," she whispered in broken human standard, clutching the child closer. "Do not hurt us, we have nothing left." Jake slowly holstered his weapon and raised his hands. The woman was clearly not human, with delicate features and silver hair that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. Her clothing was torn and bloodstained, but he could see the elegant fabric beneath. She had once known better times. "I'm not going to hurt you," Jake said gently. "My name is Jake. I'm here to help." The alien woman studied his face, searching for deception. "I am Zara of the Villani," she said finally. "This is my daughter, Kira. The raiders. They killed my husband. They destroyed our home." Jake's jaw tightened. The Craxians had been targeting mixed settlements, places where humans and aliens lived together in peace. They saw such cooperation as weakness to be exploited. "How long have you been hiding here?" 3 days, Zara replied, her voice barely audible. "Kira is sick. She needs medicine. But I have no credits, no status. The refugee centers will not accept us." The child, barely 6 years old, was burning with fever. Her small hand reached out toward Jake, and something in his chest tightened. He had joined the Colonial Defense Force to protect innocent lives, and here were 2 who needed protection more than most. "You're coming with me," Jake decided. "Both of you." Zara's eyes widened in disbelief. "You would help us, but we are nothing to you. Less than nothing." Jake knelt down beside them, meeting Zara's gaze directly. "You're people in need. That's everything to me." As he helped them to their feet, Jake noticed how Zara flinched at his touch, not from pain, but from fear of kindness being withdrawn. Whatever she had endured had taught her to expect betrayal. But as little Kira smiled weakly at him, Jake made a silent promise. These 2 would find safety, even if he had to provide it himself. Sanctuary among the stars. Jake's apartment on Orbital Station Phoenix was modest: 2 rooms, basic furnishings, and a view of the asteroid belt beyond. But to Zara and Kira, it might as well have been a palace. Zara stood uncertainly in the doorway while Kira explored with the cautious curiosity of a child who had learned not to touch without permission. "The bedroom is yours," Jake said, setting down medical supplies he had purchased from the station's clinic. "I'll take the couch." Zara shook her head quickly. "We cannot accept such generosity. You have already done too much." "You're not accepting anything," Jake replied firmly. "You're staying here because your daughter needs rest and medical care. That's not charity, that's basic decency." Over the following days, Jake watched Zara slowly begin to relax. She was intelligent and observant, asking questions about human customs and technology with genuine interest. In return, she shared stories of Velen culture, their deep connection to music, their complex family structures, their reverence for the natural world. Kira recovered quickly with proper medicine and nutrition. She was a bright child who delighted in the station's artificial gravity systems and holographic entertainment centers. Jake found himself looking forward to her laughter echoing through his previously quiet apartment. "Why do you help us?" Zara asked one evening as they watched Kira play with a simple puzzle toy Jake had brought her. Jake considered the question carefully. "Because you needed help, and I could provide it." "Isn't that reason enough?" "Most humans would not think so," Zara said quietly. "Many see us as threats or burdens. My husband used to say that prejudice was the galaxy's oldest poison." "Your husband sounds like a wise man." Zara's expression grew sad. "He was. Theron believed that different species could learn from each other, build something better together. The raiders killed him for that belief." Jake felt anger rising in his chest, not at Zara, but at the senseless hatred that had torn her family apart. He was right, Jake said, and his death doesn't make his vision wrong. That night, as Jake lay on the couch listening to Zara sing a gentle violin lullaby to Kira, he realized something had changed within him. These two beings had brought warmth and purpose to his life in ways he had never expected. For the first time in years, his apartment felt like a home. But beyond his growing attachment to them both, Jake found himself drawn to Zara in ways that both thrilled and terrified him. Her strength in the face of loss, her devotion to her daughter, her quiet dignity, everything about her challenged his assumptions about what love could be. Hearts across the void weeks passed, and Jake found excuses to spend more time at home. He would bring Kira small gifts, books, toys, sweets from different worlds, and watch her face light up with joy. But it was Zara who truly captured his thoughts. She had begun helping with station maintenance, her engineering knowledge proving invaluable. "You don't have to work," Jake told her one evening. "I can support both of you." Zara's amber eyes flashed with pride. "I will not be a burden. I have skills, knowledge. I will contribute." Her independence was another thing Jake admired about her. Despite losing everything, Zara refused to become dependent. She was rebuilding her life on her own terms, and Jake respected that even as he wished she would let him help more. The breakthrough came during a system malfunction that threatened the station's life support. While human engineers struggled with the alien technology components, Zara stepped forward. "I know this system," she said quietly. "It's Velen designed. May I help?" Her expertise saved hundreds of lives that day as she worked alongside human technicians. Jake saw the barriers between species dissolving. This was what her husband had envisioned: cooperation born of mutual respect and shared purpose. That evening, as they celebrated the successful repairs, Zara finally opened up about her past. She had been an engineer on her home world, married to a diplomat who advocated for interspecies cooperation. Their love story had been controversial. She was common-born while he was nobility. But they had built a beautiful life together. "Theron always said that love recognizes no boundaries," Zara said, her voice soft with memory. "Species, status, tradition, none of it mattered when hearts truly connected." Jake felt his pulse quicken. "Do you still believe that?" Zara met his gaze, and something passed between them, an acknowledgement of the feelings that had been growing despite every logical reason to resist them. "I am beginning to," she whispered. When Kira fell asleep that night, Jake and Zara found themselves alone on the apartment's small balcony, looking out at the stars. The conversation flowed naturally from memories to dreams, from the past to possible futures. "I never expected to feel this way again," Zara admitted, her hand resting near his on the railing. Jake covered her hand with his own, marveling at the warmth of her touch. "Neither did I, but maybe that's what makes it real." When she didn't pull away, Jake knew they had crossed a threshold. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Love beyond boundary-esque kiss, when it finally came, was worth every moment of hesitation. Jake had been helping Zara repair a broken data pad when their hands touched over the device. She looked up at him, her amber eyes holding questions and hope in equal measure. "Jake," she whispered, and he heard his name spoken like a prayer. "I know this is complicated," he said, his thumb tracing her cheek. "Different species, different worlds. Theron taught me that love is the one force that makes all differences irrelevant." Zara interrupted. "But I am afraid. What if I cannot love again? What if the pain has broken something essential in me?" "Then we'll figure it out together," Jake replied. "No pressure, no expectations, just possibility." Their first kiss was gentle, tentative, two souls testing the waters of something unprecedented. But as Zara's arms wound around his neck, Jake felt the rightness of it settle into his bones. This was not a mistake or a moment of weakness. This was destiny arriving in an unexpected form. Kira, wise beyond her years, seemed to understand the shift in their relationship before they did. She began calling Jake Papa Jake and drew pictures of the three of them together. Her acceptance was a gift that eased Zara's remaining fears about their unconventional family. The challenges came from outside their small sanctuary. Station regulations were unclear about interspecies partnerships, and some residents, made their disapproval known through cold stares and whispered comments. But for every person who frowned, another smiled at seeing Kira's happiness or nodded respectfully at Zara's contributions to station life. Let them talk, Jake said when Zara worried about the gossip. We're not hurting anyone. We're building something beautiful. And they were. Their love grew daily, strengthened by shared laughter, quiet conversations, and the simple joy of domestic life. Jake taught Kira basic self-defense while Zara showed him Velen meditation techniques. They created new traditions that blended their culture's human bedtime stories, told in Velen melodies, Terran holidays celebrated with Velen rituals. The night Jake proposed was not marked by grand gestures or formal ceremonies. Instead, as they tucked Kira into bed together, she asked innocently, "When are you and Mama getting married, Papa Jake?" Jake and Zara looked at each other across their daughter's bed, and the question hung in the air like starlight. Later, in the privacy of their shared room, because somewhere along the way, it had become theirs rather than his, Jake took Zara's hands in his. "She's not wrong to ask," he said carefully. "I know we come from different worlds, but I can't imagine my world without you in it." Zara's eyes filled with tears of joy. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes to marriage, yes to family, yes to whatever future we can build together." A new dawn rising wedding ceremony took place in the station's observation deck, with Earth visible through the massive windows and the stars bearing witness. Jake wore his dress uniform while Zara was radiant in a gown that blended human and Velen tradition's white silk adorned with the silver threading patterns that symbolized eternal bonds in her culture. Kira served as both flower girl and ring bearer, her joy infectious as she scattered petals from flowers that grew in the station's hydroponics bay. The guest list was small but meaningful: fellow officers who had become friends, station personnel who had welcomed Zara, and even a few Velen refugees who had arrived seeking sanctuary. The ceremony itself was conducted by Captain Torres, Jake's commanding officer, who had fought for the right to officiate interspecies unions. As they exchanged vows, Jake and Zara spoke not just of love, but of hope for a future where their daughter would grow up in a galaxy more accepting than the one that had orphaned her. "You taught me that family is not about blood or species," Jake said, his voice steady despite the emotion in his eyes. "Family is about choosing to love someone completely, to stand with them against any darkness, to build something beautiful from the ashes of what was lost." Zara's vows were spoken in both languages, her words carrying the musical quality of Velen speech. "You showed me that love can grow again in the most barren soil. You proved that kindness is not weakness, but the greatest strength of all. Today I choose not just a husband but a future bright with possibility." The reception was a celebration of unity that surprised everyone with its warmth. Humans and Velens shared food, stories, and laughter. Children of different species played together while their parents discussed everything from trade routes to philosophical differences. It was a small glimpse of the peaceful coexistence that Zara's first husband had dreamed of. As the evening wound down, Jake and Zara stood together on the balcony where they had first admitted their feelings. Kira slept peacefully inside, exhausted from the day's excitement. The view before them showed not just stars, but the lights of other stations, other worlds where beings of countless species pursued their own dreams of happiness. "Theron would have loved this," Zara said softly, her head resting on Jake's shoulder. "I think he would have approved," Jake agreed. "You found love again. Kira has a father who adores her, and you're both safe. That's what he would have wanted." Zara lifted her head to look at him, her amber eyes bright with tears of gratitude. "You saved us that day in the ruins, but I think we saved you too." Jake smiled, pulling her closer. "We saved each other, and we're going to keep saving each other, every day for the rest of our lives." As they watched ships arrive and depart from the station's docking bays, carrying their passengers toward unknown destinies, Jake felt the profound truth of the human spirit that love, compassion, and hope could triumph over hatred and fear. In a galaxy torn by conflict, they had created something beautiful. A family forged not by biology but by choice, not by tradition, but by the courage to love without limits. Their story would continue, full of challenges and joys yet to come. But for this moment, Standing together under the eternal stars, they had everything they needed: each other, their daughter's laughter echoing from inside, and the knowledge that love truly could conquer all.